Welcome to the Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Kale Carolina Jackpot Hall.
And fuck you! Who's next?
The Rob and Kale podcasts.
Let's go!
And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening here on the show. We have, of course, my good friend. He's up in the Big L tonight. He is
the Big L
on a jackpot. Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, buddy?
Doing good. Hope everybody's doing well. A little bit of cold weather. A little bit of nipple slippage here, but I put on something to cover it up. I'm not like the the trashy fan base a couple of states over from me that lets their goodies pop out during football games and stuff like that. So how's everybody doing?
I don't know about the whole goodies thing, but all right. Shout out to the folks checking out the show. Second GA Doug says, hail the neckbeards. I don't know. I mean, are we neckbeards now, Jackpot? I don't know about that, but all right. What's up, Bo Hunting? How are you doing, sir? Let's see here. Everything with Sancho is just kind of a rip towards one or the other of us. I think Sancho either A, is just busting balls, or B, hasn't gotten laid in like forever. It's one or the other. It's got to be one of those.
Bo Hunt says you don't like goodies. I like it when it's on good-looking women. When it's some questionable mountain people, I'm like, that's a hard pass for me.
Caleb says we're the best show on the internet. Well, thank you for that.
Don't get out much. Thank you very much.
Anyway, we appreciate you, Sancho, for showing up. But anyway, look. Tonight on the show, we're going to do our picks for the weekend. First, we have to thank our sponsors for the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. Of course, it's Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia. Highway 1 diagonal from the Walmart. Appreciate you guys going and checking them out. I've heard some folks have taken the time to go by there. So you guys are awesome for that. If you're in town, if you're a Texas A&M fan and you're coming to Columbia, go to Callaway's Bar and Grill this weekend. You Mizzou people coming in the week after, I know there's going to be at least 10 or 12 of you Mizzou fuckers coming in. Go and have dinner at Callaway's, all right?
When I think of Mizzou coming in, I think of like fucking like the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, like the Brennan Anthony, his longtime brother Colin Anthony coming in like a station wagon to Columbia with maybe like one donut tire on it or something.
No, I think Colin and Brendan Anthony. Colin Raw is the guy who drives the what do they call those things? He drives the moped, and Brendan just hangs out on the back. That's basically what it boils down to.
He might ride in the sidecar.
I have a moped with a sidecar. Okay, that can work. I've never seen one of those. That's Missouri's an engineering school, right? They probably made the first one. That's probably what it boils down to.
Silos.
Oh, shit. Shout out to friend of the program, Gary Thrills Mills. He says his picks have been blazing. They absolutely have, sir. So yeah, thanks for being a part of the contest. Mills out there went and had his damn spine worked on. Now he ain't worth a shit. Get your game back on, Mills. Tired of your shit. Anyway, get well. You want to? All right. Anyway, we got to thank Callaway's Bar and Grill. Also, we have to thank Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. Spoke with Dennis this afternoon, and he's just rolling right along. He does give us fireside chats with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, read away, sir.
Sucks to be a Gamecock. Did you know that South Carolina and Texas A&M play for a trophy? We have no idea what it looks like or what it's called because it permanently resides in Texas. We're an absolute shithole. Sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. By the way, to educate the Gamecock fans who have never seen it, it's called the Bonham Trophy. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm giving my pick away here, but I think for the first time in the history of that fucking trophy, it's going to come to the Palmetto State. And I hope that they let I hope Shane Beamer puts those sunglasses on and drinks some fine ass beer out of that motherfucker and walks around the stadium with it. Because goddamn it, it's your year to beat those motherfuckers. And if you don't, it's insane. You should have it. It's the Bonham Trophy. Bonham is how it's spelled, but they call it the Bonham Trophy. All right.
You
So
can't
anyway,
make this shit up.
I'm not making it up. I mean, it's look, it's called here. I'll read it to you. The Bonham Trophy, named and modeled after Alamo battle hero James Bonham, was commissioned in 2013 by former Texas Governor Rick Perry and then South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. It was to be the prize for the winner of the annual SEC cross division matchup between the Aggies and the Gamecocks, because apparently James Bonham, was from South Carolina and fought in the Alamo. So they weave that together. They should have just had the damn Waffle House trophy or some shit. I mean, no disrespect to James Bonham. I mean, he fought at the Alamo, but you know.
So something that Nikki Haley had to do with?
Nikki Haley and Rick Perry got together. I mean,
That's
Texas
been
needs
what,
our
2 years
Warriors
ago?
from
I mean, she just
2013.
She was the last governor we had.
Yeah.
My favorite governor,
anyway.
my favorite South Carolina governor had to be Dick Riley.
Yeah. Jesus.
Or Carol
Anyway,
Campbell.
how shitty that Texas is. They have to import our guys to go there to fight for them to keep
Harry
the
Lake says Haley is a witch. She's not a damn witch. She's probably the best damn governor we had down here. So damn sight better than that fucking moron they got down there right now. I'll tell you that. But anyway, let's not talk about politics.
We're not talk politics on this show, Jackpot. Just because Henry McMaster won't let us have sports gambling, but takes money from casinos, we don't talk about that. Just because he sounds like Foghorn Leghorn, we don't talk about that either. Talk about any of that. No need for all that. Anyway, all right. So, ooh, I'm gonna. For those listening to the podcast, I will not repeat this statement, but Bible Belt Beauties has a very valid point. I will not read that, but
I bet she does too.
Right.
I bet you old Robert Gibson would put it in and walk up.
See, Teddy says he likes McMasters and I should shut up. Well, good sir. You guys can get together and you can sound like Foghorn Leghorn too, sir. There you go. Yeah, I'd vote for Jackpot for governor over McMaster. Why not? Your platform should be, I'm gonna run on sports betting and whatever. We'll pick something else out. So
hell, there's a casino right across the state line from South Carolina and North Carolina. It's right there at Kings Mountain. They just built it.
Well, yeah,
crazy.
Now begging Craig and Megan with his line, I will not read, but it's pretty goddamn funny. All right, let's get our picks together, Jackpot. The first pick that we will have, I'm going to show the folks here. Oh, that's not the right form. Hold on. Let's get the right form here. Showing the actual Anyway, the first pick that we will have is going to be Texas versus Oklahoma State. Texas is a 6.5 point favorite over the Mullet. Jackpot, which way you rolling there, buddy?
Well, I think Texas didn't play their best game this past week. That's a road game. Oklahoma State is coming off of a 43-40 loss in overtime to TCU. So both coming off kind of, I guess, disappointing performances. Line seems to be a little bit short. I think both teams are pretty good. I think Texas is probably going to win this game. I could see this being a 45-40 game, a 44-40 game, something like that. So going ahead and give me the Mullet to cover that 6.5 at home.
Yeah, I think that I'm tired of people telling me all, Texas is blah blah blah. Just slow down a little bit. Slow down. I'm gonna go with the Mullet too. Give me the Mullet plus 6.5. I think that line's already dropped too, by the way. UCLA versus Oregon. UCLA is getting 6.5 on the road at Oregon. I'll pick first here, Jackpot. Oregon basically got victimized by Georgia. Stetson Bennett looked like he was a Heisman Trophy candidate. But since then, Oregon's played some pretty good football. And I think UCLA is a little bit of a, I mean, they're the Tennessee of the Pac-12. They're just overrated as hell. I'm going to take Oregon -6.5. I think they blow them out.
Yeah, I'm going to take Oregon in this one as well. They've just been getting better and better ever since that. They're kind of like the Gamecocks. The Gamecocks haven't lost a game since they got that ass tapped by Georgia. Neither is Oregon, and I don't think they do it here either. So going ahead and give me the Ducks to cover that 6.5 at home in Autzen Stadium.
Both roll with the Ducks there. Kansas State versus TCU. TCU they're rolling down there with the Horned Frogs, Jackpot. But Kansas State, they played pretty good football too. Which way are you rolling in that game?
What's the line here? I can't see this good.
I'm sorry. It's Kansas State is -3.5.
Kansas State's -3.5?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that, at TCU at home, I would take TCU to cover that as an underdog. I thought that Kansas State was an underdog now. Maybe that was shifted.
Let me look and make sure that I'm pretty sure I got that right. Hold on, I'll make sure I didn't screw it up in the picks here. But I'm checking the line just to be sure. There's a chance I messed it up, but we'll see. I'm checking right now, but let's see here. Making sure I didn't screw up with my plus and minuses here. Where is it? On the Vegas Insider site. Damn it, Jackpot. I'm thinking, I don't know. Where the hell is it? Must be down near the bottom. All right, I'm working on that. We'll make sure on that as we go. God damn it. It should be right here. Where is it? It's like I can't find it. It's like my brain's toast this evening.
Well, it's got Kansas in it. It should smell bad, so that might be a clue.
No, TCU is an actual favorite there. So with that, Jackpot, I'm going to pull that game out because I put the wrong date on it, and we will not have that game because people have already submitted their picks. So
okay, well, for what it's worth, if it was, I would take Kansas State as an underdog to cover. Kansas State is 32-13 as an underdog in their last 45 games.
All right, so I've already submitted the form, and that's my fault. But with that, we're going to pull that game. Here's record of it before the picks went out. My fault. I messed that up. I'm sorry. So, but with that, I'd probably pick TCU anyway. But yeah, Ole Miss and LSU. LSU is a 1.5-point favorite over Ole Miss. Ole Miss is like, there are some folks that are talking about maybe they could win the West. Which way you rolling there, Jackpot?
We're gonna have to play better on defense, but I'm not sold on LSU. What time when is this game? Do we know?
Yeah, hold on, I've got it right here. It's on Saturday, and it's the 3:30 matchup.
Yeah, I'm going with Ole Miss. I don't think LSU's that good. I don't give a shit. They beat Florida last week. Woo-hoo. Florida's a fucking trash can.
Yeah, Florida is a trash can. We'll give you that. And with that, though, I think this is the battle I think whoever wins this is going to either finish second to Alabama or win the West. But I'm going to go with Ole Miss and get the points there. Vandy and Mizzou. Vanderbilt started out the season.
Something to do with it. If it's at nighttime at LSU, that's probably another 2 or 3 point advantage in their favor.
Yeah.
That's why time has something to do with it.
Yeah.
You knew that.
Yeah, Billy knows that.
Don't be over asking dumb shit.
Billy was at the first game where they actually had lights on at the stadium. He looked up and said, "Wow, we can play at night." Imagine that. Anyway. Yeah. Billy was there. He was in his 20s when that happened. Anyway, the Vanderbilt Commodores, they started out the season winning at Hawaii, winning over Elon. getting blown out by Wake Forest. They beat a directional school in Northern Illinois, but in their three SEC games, they've lost by 52, 24, and 55. Now, they have played the three best teams in the conference. Now, they ramped down to play a Mizzou team that is inept on offense. Inept. But Mizzou does play some defense. I'm going to go with the Tigers there and the 14 points.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Vandy's played three SEC games, lost all three of them. They've scored 31 points in three SEC games, and they scored 28 of those points in one of the games. One of them they scored 3 against Alabama, and against Georgia they got dicked. But I'm going to take – I just can't – I don't feel comfortable laying doubles with Mizzou. I just don't. I'm going to take Vanderbilt.
But they've got the moped with the sidecar, Jackpot.
Well, I agree, but I just don't think that's going to be quite enough this afternoon. I think they win, but I don't think they cover. I'm not laying doubles with Mizzou. They're terrible.
That's probably fair. Vanderbilt's not much better, but Pitt and Louisville is the next matchup. We've got Louisville -3. Yeah, Jackpot. The Panthers haven't had that flowing season that we thought they might have after winning the ACC last year. Louisville is they have a shit coach. I'm gonna go Pitt. Which way you going, Jackpot?
Yeah, I don't know if Louisville. I gotta research this one a little more. Normally, I would have this research by now, but don't know. Malik Cunningham was hurt. For at some time, and I don't know if he's missing any action or not. But I think Louisville puts up a few more points than Pitt does, and I think they beat them. Pitt's been kind of disappointing this year to me. Lost to Georgia Tech. I mean, that's just unexcusable, kind of.
So we're both. Which way are you going? You going with Louisville or Pitt?
I'm going with the home team. I'm going with the Louisville Cardinals.
Right. West Virginia and Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a 7-point favorite. The West Virginia defense is bad. I'm going to go with the Red Raiders here -7.
It is, my friend. But West Virginia played some pretty good ball against Baylor last week. Plus, they're coming on. I think they've got a little bit of extra rest coming up there, which I don't know if Texas Tech was off last week or not. I think these are two pretty evenly matched teams. So I'm going to go on ahead and mess around and take the underdog, West by God, Virginia, couch burning Mountaineers. Hopefully they don't set too many couches on fire out there in the desert. They might have a problem.
Yep. Next matchup, Minnesota and Penn State. Jackpot's second favorite team is, of course, Penn State. And I'm in the camp that Penn State's they need this win really bad. A big need win for them there. I'm going to go with Penn State -5.
I'm also going to go with Penn State -5 at home, although Minnesota can run the ball pretty well. We saw Michigan absolutely just pound the rock against Penn State last week for well over 250 yards. But Minnesota is pretty much a one running back attack there. With what Michigan had Blake Corum and the other cat who kind of double teamed them last week a little bit. But Minnesota definitely not as good as Michigan. Think that they bounce back and get a win. What do you think about James Franklin's job security at Penn State? Do you think that you think he's going to be around next year when we know we have someone there who would take that job that doesn't have one right now?
What are you talking about, Jackpot? Oh, you're talking about You're talking about Urban Meyer?
Matt Rule.
That's a good point. Yeah. I don't know if he may still have some of that Panther stank on him.
Yeah, but
Um,
he is a Penn State man, and he's a college man. This NFL experiment didn't work out.
Here's the thing. I don't know exactly where they are as far as finances go with Penn State, but Franklin is being paid $7 million a year starting this year until 2031. Guaranteed $7 million a year. So that's 9 years. Like that's a $63 million they're going to have to pay him to not coach.
Ryan
Do they have
over in
something set up
the
for that?
Ryan over in the comment section says if James Franklin gets fired next week, South Carolina should grab him quickly. Oh, why? So he can beat your ass like he did at Vanderbilt?
Mm.
I mean, is that what we're wishing for here? Be careful.
Shout out to Elijah, who is 50 days sober. Sir, people battle that stuff all the time. And I tell you what, we'll stop the program for a minute. Congratulations, sir. That is awesome.
Congratulations.
Stay the course there, my friend.
I'm 4 days sober.
Well, congratulations to you, Jackpot. Peg and Megan, bigger con man, James Franklin.
Anyway.
James Franklin or Jimbo Fisher. Fuck, god damn it, Peg and Megan. Change your name back.
Jimbo Fisher. James Franklin's just not. I mean, James Franklin's a decent recruiter. I think that's not. Both of them are good recruiters. I think Jimbo's probably a better recruiter and a better snake oil salesman. Both of them put a subpar product on the field relative to the amount of talent that they have and the expectations of the school.
Hold on. I have to address Leonard here. He says, geez, crackpot, he was just trying to make a good coaching hire suggestion and you shit on it. No, he's belittling the coach that they have now, sir. It is backhanded, passive-aggressive shit. He should have just came out and said, you know what? I think that Shane Beamer sucks asshole at South Carolina. That would have been better than, oh, you should hire James Franklin to come in there and do what you... Stop it. Just stop it, man.
Yeah, I mean, we have a coach, so we're not in the market for one.
Oh God! All right, next matchup is Syracuse at Clemson. Clemson is a 13.5-point favorite. Syracuse is going to try to run the ball, and they are not going to be successful. So I'm going to take Clemson minus 13.5. Jackpot, which way are you rolling?
Not so fast, my friend. Syracuse has looked good. Clemson didn't impress me. Kind of laying down the last 10 minutes of that game against Florida State, let them come back, score some points, make that thing look closer than it was. I still don't. I don't trust Clemson's defense. I just don't. I mean, everybody says you're not going to run the ball. You're not going to run the ball. But Florida State pounded the rock against Clemson, 6.2 yards a carry.
Yeah, but if you watch that game, Jackpot, and I hate to break it to you, but the majority of that 6.2 yards a carry was in garbage time. That's how they beefed it up. Big runs in garbage time. But I'll let you pick whoever you want. It's cool.
So that can count anymore.
But
no,
okay,
I'm taking you people have struggled with them. You have problems with Syracuse. You've covered maybe 2 out of the last 6 meetings against this bunch. Last year was a 1-possession game. 2020, they came to Clemson. They were absolutely horrible. They gave you a game for 3 quarters. I think they were down by like 3 points. And then the Tater took over. 2019 was a blowout, I believe. 2018-ish was the game where, what's that? Needle Dick, Chase Bryce, that App State kid, quarterback, had to come in and save the day because everybody was hurt. God dang, I remember that. I was at Ingles working, and I was on the pet food aisle, walking the store, straightening up, and I had my phone down here in the buggy, and I was watching the end of that game. I was like, oh, God damn it,
Clemson, by the way, has won the last 4 matchups with Syracuse by an average of 17 points, but okay.
Yeah, I'm taking the cues there.
I figured you would take the fruit, and you have wasted a pick. The next one is it's your picks to waste, brother. You can waste them however you want. Next matchup is South Carolina versus Texas A&M. South Carolina is getting 3 points at home. I think that I stick by what I said earlier. Jimbo Fisher, one of the biggest frauds in college football. I wonder if this team has quit on him. We may see more of that coming up. I think South Carolina wins. I really, really do. I'm not going to have my pettiness like Jackpot has towards the Tigers. No, sir. I think South Carolina can beat Texas A&M. I'll take the Gamecocks and the 3 points. God damn it, Jackpot. Look here. Let me help you with your pick, Jackpot. Look down at your shirt. Look at your shirt. Say who that shirt is, and that's what you should pick. Not that one, the sweatshirt, the hoodie.
All right. Taking the Gamecocks.
God damn it. I think South Carolina gets.
Says Texas A&M will beat South Carolina by 3. I don't think Texas A&M can score 3 times.
I mean, really? You really and truthfully believe that? Okay. I'm not buying that at all. I will take South Carolina and get the 3 points. Last one is the Kale Hall shitter. Southern Miss is a 2.5-point favorite over Texas State. I'm just going to pick whoever Jackpot picks in his own shitter here because another one of those teams really sets it on fire. Which way you rolling, Jackpot?
What's the line here?
-2.5 for Southern Miss.
Yeah, Texas State actually upset App State at home 2 weeks ago, and then covered against Troy this past week. Southern Miss is a pretty good team, so I kind of look for a little bit of a letdown here in San Marcos from the Bobcats. So, as our friend Sippy would say, Southern Miss to the doggone top.
I will take Southern Miss because Jackpot took Southern Miss. So there you go. There's our picks, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to open up the phone lines. If you would like to call in, 803-470-2905.
To the doggone top.
803-470-2905. That is the number to call.
I want to talk about this for a second. So,
sure.
So it comes out today. I noticed it today, a bunch of YouTube videos, all 5-6 hours old or so, nothing older than that. So some girl, I guess it's a Tennessee student, fan or something, posted a video on TikTok of Jermaine Burton, the Alabama wide receiver, supposedly slapping her in the head, pushing her in the head. Have you seen anything about this? I mean, what do you make of this?
I think that, in my opinion, if it comes back down to you never know when it comes to something like that, and it's going to look like I am defending the football player, but I'm not. I just think we live in an area right now where, unless you have absolute proof, it's really hard for anyone to believe anything. I mean, we could sit here and say, all right, this guy went and slapped her, but if we weren't there and we didn't see it, I mean, okay.
Well, it's really unclear. And here's the thing. This is why you don't fucking storm the field and run out there. You know, we'll take the caller, but I got something more to get off my chest here.
All right. Well, if someone says there's a video, I've not seen the video. If the video's there of him slapping the girl, then he should be held accountable.
It's on TikTok, but it's the video on TikTok that was supposedly shot by her is just, you see her walking and all this yelling going on. You see him coming this way, and then there's like where the video just goes all cattywampus, and then it's over. And then somebody else has a view of this said incident from like behind and up, like maybe in the stands or something. You do see him like push at somebody, but like, I don't know. I think she was like all up in dude's face and not defending that you're not supposed to hit girls or whatever. But I mean, like, get out of his mix too. I mean,
yeah,
that's right. That's why you get fined $125,000, I guess, for getting on the playing field Maybe that's why they do that. I have no clue.
I'm looking for the actual video, and we'll see if I can play it over here. But yeah, I don't know how that happened. Anyway, caller, go ahead. What you got?
Hey, it's Big Barney Ross. I was calling in to say that this is probably Kentucky's greatest adversary this weekend coming up. It's going to take a team effort. I mean, it's going to be it's going to have to be a defensive front all the way around before they can come out with any kind of positive. Of course, we got a bye week. We normally get 2 or 3 DUIs during this time. But if they stay and play as a team, I think we can get through this off week with all of our players still able to play. And I think it's just going to take a team effort. And I'm going to be pulling for South Carolina to beat Texas A&M, because really what's the state of Texas ever? I mean, the Chainsaw Massacre is sending Jeb Bush to Florida. I mean, is that the only positive thing Texas has done? And when South Carolina finally gets A&M off their back and gets this victory, don't get upset about it like Tennessee did. Don't get all sour Pruitt and just be hateful. Be happy that you got that victory. What y'all think about it? Big Barney Ross, I'm out.
Big Barney Ross joining the program here. I've got the video. We'll show it to you really quick here, Jackpot, and we'll see what we got here. Let's see here. The video says Jermaine Burton smacking a girl in the head after the game. All right, here we go. Let's watch this video together here and see what it shows. Anybody see that?
I pulled up one, and it's like one with the slow motion, or if you've ever heard it, like the slow voice Indian dude commenting on it, which is like really disappointing when you pull up one of those and you think it's going to be.
Yeah. You can't really tell with that. I mean, it's just kind of
it's all a hodgepodge. Nothing's going to come of that. It's a bunch of crap. I mean, it's not like he pulled a fucking Ray Rice. I mean,
yeah, it's not like he pulled her and then hit her and then spit on her after it was over. But I don't know. I think that
was that
that was Ray Rice. He spit on her. He slapped her, punched her, and then spit on her.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, they ended up getting married. Yes.
Didn't Dalvin Cook beat the shit out of some girl too?
I don't know.
I think he punched some girl like in a bar or something. Someone in the comment section tell us if that happened.
I think that security should be enforced at these spots at the stadium and whatever school's there. I mean, I think that they're financially viable for something that's like that. So she's going to sue somebody. If she's suing Burton, she should sue the school too. But
people forget, these dudes are full of adrenaline. I mean, it's not like he was out there just like fucking lollygagging it around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Leonard Sarasota says, "Come on, Crockpot. If the Cox ever beat Clemson again in Williams-Brice, you would no doubt rush the field in attendance. Thankfully, you don't ever have to worry about that ever happening." Okay, first of all, I'm not going to be able to get my fat ass over those bushes to get out there. Second of all, it's never happening again. Okay. What do you say?
Okay. Well, Sanchez says duty hit 2 people. Well, you know what? Your piece of shit security staff should keep you motherfucking dumb fucks off the field. That's the way that it should be. They're not authorized to be there anyway. Okay? It's one of those things that mob rule happened because you guys haven't had anything that's worth a shit forever, and we've gone over that, and you rush the field. If you rush the field and shit happens to you, then that's your own fault. I feel like it's the same thing with if you rush the field and the cop tases you, that's your fault. Get the fuck off the field. You're not supposed to be there.
850 Matthew says, "Jackpot, are you going to any games this year?" I'm going to the Vanderbilt game in a couple of weeks. Going to Candy.
Going to Candy.
Watch us fucking lose.
I tell you what. Billy says Clemson goes on the field after the games. Let me educate you on that, Billy. The way that works is there is a time limit that is put up on the screen. Tells you can enter the field at set time. Now, after that set time, the opposing team is off the field. And we have actual goalposts that are lowered to the ground. So those posts are lowered to the ground and everyone meets at the pole. It's a Clemson tradition. No one gets hurt. No one's slapping people around. Goalposts don't get thrown into a fucking river because we're fucking civilized. That's how shit works. So there you go.
850
Bow
Matthew says,
hunting
what's
right.
your
Charities
win-loss
like they couldn't
record?
match.
What's your win-loss record when attending games? Dude, that'd be interesting to find out. I don't know. But I bet you I could go back and in a couple hours I could research it all and let you know. Because I can go back and I can just about verbatim tell you every Gamecock game that I've been to when I look at them all on the list. But I have to go back to 1980 to start looking at it. But that would be interesting.
That's something you should look at. But I know you told us you were at one of the games where the Citadel won.
That was the very first game I ever went to, yeah, that I remember. In 1979, I was told that I went to the Gamecocks game against Ole Miss at home. My mom said we went to that. I don't remember it. I honestly don't. I was like 3. But I did in 1980. I remember going to the game where the Gamecocks played the Citadel at home. And we actually won that one. And I remember I've told this story before of the Citadel had a live bulldog at the time, and he shit on the AstroTurf down there where the cheerleaders were. It was some guy cheerleaders from the Citadel. I remember there being girl cheerleaders there too, because I think they used to go get girls from the College of Charleston at the time because there wasn't any girls at school. But anyway, the dog had shit on the AstroTurf down there, and I remember asking my mom, and because we had walked down to the field, you could get right there. I was like, Mama, who's gonna clean it up? Mm-hmm. It was fun.
All right, so Jackpot sent me a couple of pictures. You want to explain these real quick, Jackpot?
Sure. Tom Reed says, fat ass jock sniffers.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. I think he drools in his Fruit Loops while he's Velcro in his shoes too.
Of course he does. This is you want to explain this one? This is something you sent here, Jackpot. Depressing to think we ever upset South Carolina.
Somebody, the Spurs Up Show dude, I believe it was Spurs Up Show dude, posted a link to I think his name was I don't fucking know, who's a damn Tennessee kicker who kicked a field goal back in 2013. It was 9 years ago today. Well, they upset number 11 South Carolina in Neyland Stadium 23-21. That was an awful day. But some dumb fuck Tennessee fan here says, what else he said? Embarrassing to think we ever upset South Carolina. And I said, embarrassing to know that we lost your shit show of a team. And I gave him the finger. And then there was another one I also had there where some idiot Tennessee fan said, do you have that one as well? It says, oh, yeah, okay. This is the stupidest take I've ever fucking heard in my life. You can't upset a team outside the top 5. I said, you absolutely can when you're hot dog water. That's just the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You could be 1-6. No, you could be 2-5 and upset a team that's 3-4. Okay, they're better than you. It's an upset. And if you're the underdog.
Let's see here. I want to respond to Dope over there who said I'm advocating basically for women getting hit by people. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm advocating for keeping the playing field safe at every stadium. Okay, implementing things where you don't end up with stuff. Somebody talking about.
Oh, that's Tom Reed.
I don't remember.
Okay, Tom. Since you're the knight on the white horse here, we don't even know what the hell happened. I mean, that video looks real sus to me. Real.
I don't think people should. I don't think people should touch anybody ever. You stay in your space, I'll stay in mine, etc. Ryan needs to watch his mouth, and so does Sancho, because they're running their mouths about stuff they have no clue about. Let's go to the phones. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, it's Chris from Georgia.
Hi, Chris.
You guys talk about the incident on the field. The girl, she didn't film the first one where he supposedly slapped the camera. That was the guy that reported that. The girl said her phone died like halfway through the game, so she didn't have a phone on her. But she was just running by him. It doesn't look like she says anything to him or anything like that. Like, granted, you can sit there and say, well, actually, you can't, because the last week a guy entered a Tennessee player's home and possibly got his ass whooped by him, and y'all were sitting there saying, oh, well, he had no business whooping old dude's ass. But now you're saying, well, she was in a place she wasn't supposed to be, so
I never said that.
Right, slapped her in the back of the head.
I never said that. I said if somebody busted into my house, I'd whip their ass.
Yeah, there's a difference between your home and a football field, sir. There's just differences there.
I agree. You have the right to whoop somebody's ass in your home. You don't have the right to slap some girl running by you because she's celebrating a win.
Okay. Well, but here's the thing. There's supposed to be security there to keep people out of the field. Do you agree or not?
Yeah, but it happens everywhere. We're not the first school to rush a field. We're not going to be the last one.
I never said it doesn't happen everywhere. I'm saying that the university is responsible for the safety of the players that are there, and obviously they failed, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't give.
Okay. Well, you've answered my. He shouldn't have touched her. I completely agree with that. But they shouldn't have put him into a position where he's got 100,000 people on the field. Shouldn't have happened.
I don't know. I mean, people. That's just such an ableist way to think of it. Like,
I'm not enabling him. He should listen closely. I'm not enabling him. He should not have touched her. But if she's going to sue people, the first person she should sue is the University of Tennessee. That should be the first.
I think she just wants Jermaine Burton held responsible. Who knows if he will be?
So under mob rule, which is what is happening, where the security's like, fuck it, you're not supposed to be on the field, but we're going to let you go. What is supposed to happen to Jermaine Burton? Is he supposed to come up there and apologize? I mean, is he supposed to go to jail for that? I mean, what would make Tennessee fans happy?
I mean, he could be suspended for a couple of games.
Cool.
I mean, Nick Saban said they're going to handle it in-house. I mean, honestly, she could have probably pressed charges. Send his ass back to Knoxville to stand
trial. She should have then. She should have done it the next day instead of putting it on TikTok. I would have went to the police.
Yeah, if she was so violated from that front end, I mean, and it really bothered her, she should have made a police report.
The morning after, she didn't have her phone on her when it happened. She shared the TikTok the morning after. It just started getting traction earlier this week.
Okay. I mean, I think that she shouldn't have been on the field in the first place. He shouldn't have touched her. So if it bothers her, we have a legal system. I'm assuming that they have a legal system up there. I don't know for sure, but I think you can go and file charges against him and then see what the legal system brings and then go from there. But he shouldn't have touched her, period. And she shouldn't have been on the field.
And I mean, I mentioned last week that I wasn't sure if Jalen McCullough was going to sit out the game. I said he might still play depending on what the charges say. Your response is, of course he might. Of course he might. That's Tennessee. Now Nick Saban has video evidence of his players slapping a woman. And he says, oh, we'll handle it in-house. And everybody's like, well, that's her fault. She should have been on the friggin' field.
No. I think that if she files charges, then he should stand for those charges. That's the way that it should be.
What do you think Nick Saban should do as a man with daughters who just witnessed one of his players hit a woman in the back of the head on camera? What should Nick Saban do as a coach of that man?
I mean, I can't speak for Nick Saban, but I mean, he's supposed to be a leader of men, and he should handle that like a man should handle.
And that's exactly why his players get to the league and go 150 miles per hour in a friggin' Corvette and kill people, because he's got no standards except when it comes to being on the football field. He's got no
Are you really coming on the program as a Tennessee fan talking about standards with players, sir?
Oh my God.
Are you really doing that? Please hang up the phone. Billy
Nick
says,
Saban-
"What if
Nick
it was
Saban
your?"
had-
Henry
Stop it.
Henry gets the lead
All right,
scoring yard.
Chris, have a great night.
Because of
I
what
mean,
he
we're not
learned
going to have
from
that.
because of what he did not learn from Nick Saban. Is that also the reason Fred Davis runs over mail workers, sir?
All right, so that's a good point. Billy says, "Rob, what if it was your daughter?"
Real quick, Danny Johnson over in the comment section says, "Jackpot, you couldn't beat a mouse's ass." Danny, if you'd like to DM me at Hall_Kale on Twitter, I mean, we can meet and have a grown-up fucking conversation about it if you want to.
Billy says, "What if it was your daughter, Rob? Please tell us. I've educated my daughter to the point of don't go on the fucking field. I guarantee you my daughter would not go anywhere near a field because she knows she's not supposed to be there. You don't storm a fucking field. That's fucking stupid. My daughter wouldn't do that. So thanks for playing."
Valdude91 VFL says that Carolina Jackpot is somewhat civilized. I appreciate that, sir. Sometimes I do fall back down a little bit down the ladder of evolution and morph back into my gorilla state, but I am somewhat civilized. Thank you.
Let's see here.
Appreciate
Sancho says, what the hell is Sancho talking about? I'm going to ignore what Sancho's saying there. Alan says, "Rob, did Danny Ford have high standards at Clemson? I mean, do we really need to go back that far? Clemson got in trouble for cheating in the 1980s, and boom, they were
high standards of smokeless tobacco. I know that.
Exactly. He grows hemp right now. Yeah, so there's that.
You know, Danny Ford, like, I want to say this. He's kind of, to me, it's almost like he's something like, he's like the honky tonk man. Because back in the 1980s, when the honky tonk man called himself the greatest intercontinental champion ever, I couldn't stand that fucker. Also, kind of like Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, I couldn't stand them back in the day, and I couldn't fucking stand Danny Ford. But now that I'm grown, I've learned to appreciate such things as Honky Tonk Man, Danny Ford, and Arn Anderson.
Chris says, "Well, if she's in a bar at 19 enjoying the college experience and gets slapped, it's her fault." No, dumbass. You can be in a bar. You can walk into a bar at 19 years old. You're not supposed to walk onto the fucking field.
She should have ran away from him. That's my point. Why would you even be that damn close?
Well, and he shouldn't touch her, period.
That's true.
There's that too. But there's two wrongs here. She shouldn't have been there, and he shouldn't have touched her. File a police report. Let the judge deal with that. That's what they're supposed to do. There you go with that.
101 says, "Jackpot, who's your favorite USC coach?" I like the man in black, Joe Morrison. I really did. Thought he had some. He had swag, man. You can't tell me, Rob, that man didn't have some old school swag.
Of course he did. The whole thing
with the black hat, black sunglasses.
Yeah.
The limousine service. If I come, it's going to be in a Jennings limousine, 1404 King Street, Charleston, South Carolina.
1404 King Street. All right, let's go to the phones. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
How you two gentlemen doing?
Great.
Hey, what's up?
Well, I was hearing what you said about Tennessee fans not supposed to be on the field, but correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Clemson, I've heard Clemson does something like that. Like they go on the 50-yard line or something.
Well, at the end of the game, they meet at the Paul, and it's a very controlled environment. They lower the goalpost, the opposing team leaves the field, and then fans can come down to the Tiger Paw. That's how it works. It's not, hey, let's go rip our fucking goalpost and throw it in the river. It's not like that.
Well, I'll say as a Tennessee fan, that's happened 3 times that I know of. That happened in 1982 when they beat Alabama for the first time in 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
That happened in 1998 when they beat beat Florida for the first time in 5 years. And then first time in 15 years they beat Alabama. Yeah, they was going to start on the field regardless, and that's a thing there. Now, I'll ask you this question. you said I was hearing you say the other day about how Tennessee's is the most cheatingest program.
Yes.
Can you give me some examples, please?
They're the most sanctioned program in the SEC in the last 20 years. Go and look up Bruce Pearl. Go and look up the football program. Google is free.
Well, the Bruce Pearl situation, that was just he was having a cookout.
Okay. Well,
That's what
he ended up with having to have show cause to go anywhere else. So he was cheating. Google is free, sir. Go and look it up.
But
not for me, it's the NCAA.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, Tennessee is an integrity school. I mean, if they
Sure they
were
are.
some cheating program like that,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have gotten rid of Jeremy Pruitt
They're-
and all the people.
They're
that
the
did all
most
the stuff.
penalized program in the SEC in the last 20 years. These are facts, sir.
Well, they had to get rid of Jeremy Pruitt.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. You said how Tennessee is overrated.
Yes.
These
are all my opinions, by the way. These are all my opinions, by the way. It's not like I'm fucking like some crazy motherfucker that scouts and watches every game. When I see Tennessee play, it's a gimmick offense, and I just think that I don't think they're going to finish fifth in the country. I really don't. So in my mind, they're overrated.
Well, who would you rate above them?
Ohio State, Michigan.
Okay.
They won the head-to-head with Alabama, but I still think if Alabama played them 10 times, Alabama would win 7 of them. I think Ole Miss is better than they are. Georgia's better than they are. Yes,
Okay,
I said that.
Georgia.
You can win one game. That doesn't mean that you're better than that set team. I just said they played Alabama 10 times. I think that Alabama wins 7 of them. I think if they played at Bryant-Denny, Alabama would have won that game outright this year. You won the game. Congratulations. I still think Alabama's the better team.
Well, I don't think they're a bad team per se. I just know that they're just making so many miscues and mistakes, and they're lucky that they don't have 3 losses instead of 1.
Well, but you know what? That's true too. And if they continue to have as many penalties as they've got, they may prove me wrong.
Yeah. and
if they rolled into Tennessee with 2 losses, instead of being undefeated, would the goalposts have still gotten ripped down and thrown in the river?
Yes, because it's been 15 years since they've beaten Alabama. I mean,
what
if
Alabama came in like 1-5?
It's the simple fact of they haven't beaten that team in 15 years. I mean,
I'm all about them.
I could see.
Yeah, I'm all about
it like used to be a rivalry or something.
But it happened when Ole Miss beat Alabama in 2014. Georgia did it in 2000 when they beat us.
Right.
It's pretty common. Actually, in 2005, Iowa and Minnesota were playing in Minnesota. Iowa beat them and went down and tore their goalpost down on the road.
Yeah, and look, I'm all about celebrating as a fan, and I understand that. But when you go down there, you kind of forfeit some of your, you're not really supposed to be there. Now, as far as Billy made a comment earlier, is like, how do you think a judge would do this? Well, look, if she wants to file charges, if this guy hits you in the back of the head, there's cops
file
there.
Charges.
Walk up to a cop and say, that guy hit me in the head.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Why didn't she do that right then?
Instead we go post it on TikTok.
I see a runner with 4 of them off the fucking field with him. Go and find a cop, or go and find one of those people that wear a yellow jersey or whatever and say, you know what? That guy hit me. I would like to file charges. That's how the system works.
I agree.
Do that.
She should have filed charges right there.
And then, you know what? If a judge says, all right, I've got this video, he hit her, here's your sentence, sir. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
file charges and then go from there. That's the way that our laws work. All right? Simple as that.
Yes. And I'll say this to you, Jackpot. Carolina is not beating Tennessee. I'm sorry. I think the only reason that y'all beat the only reason y'all beat Kentucky was because Will Levis was out.
But Levis was out. Well, that's not our fault. They have 85 scholarships for a reason. Not our fault they didn't have somebody cultivated to run their offense.
Billy's being stupid again. I'm not defending the player. That's said point blank. He shouldn't have touched her.
Billy,
Jesus Christ.
Kaya Sharon wasn't out there giving up 6 sacks either.
Billy, listen to me. He's not defending the player hitting the woman. He's basically saying that she should have told the cops right then, hey, Alabama number 3 jersey guy, he just hit me in the back of the head.
File charges.
They would have arrested him.
Right. Ta-da! They would have at least went and questioned him. How about that? Let's try that. Hey, man, appreciate the call. You have a great night, all right?
You too.
All right, there you go.
Chris Foster says Kentucky flipped the car for beating a 500 UF team that they beat the year before. Those are facts. They did do that.
Big Bonnie Ross says, I'd like to file charges against Kentucky when they stormed the field against LSU and lost.
Oh, I remember
That's
that.
Funny. I remember that. Good point, sir. Chris says, what should Saban do? He should handle that. Deal with it. I mean, whatever it is that's
really know what his choices are. I mean, I'm not an SEC football coach, so I don't know the list of. Here's your list of things that you can do to him.
Yeah. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
What's up, guys? This is Georgia, Doug from the show. Love the show, y'all. I was thinking the thing today. A lot of Alabama fans have put out a petition to overthrow the game for officiating.
Isn't that to me is like Tennessee fans saying, "Oh, what was what Chris was saying earlier? Yeah, Alabama players commit crimes, but no, Tennessee doesn't." It's the same kind of thing.
Why don't they overthrow the game for touching punts that they shouldn't have, for jumping off sides, for missing field goals?
Well, I've seen it on Facebook. I had to comment. I was like, damn, as a Georgia fan, I wish I had that in 2017.
I don't think that. I mean, just shut the fuck up about officiating. Holy shit, Alabama fans.
I wish South Carolina could challenge losses for years now. We got a whole slew of them piled up that we like to challenge.
What else you got, man?
But just because y'all with that. But
appreciate it,
love
buddy.
The show. Go Dogs.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks. I do agree with one thing Chris said up there. Who's handcuffing Saban from punishing his players? Saban has to handle that himself. I mean, me personally, you could have. There's so many different routes that it could go. I think the young lady should have filed charges, and Saban should sit him for a couple of games. Why not? Go with that. Pebble Belt says, sounds like my old lady. I saw it on Facebook. Alan says, Tennessee fans, tell the truth. A Tennessee fan took your girlfriend. I don't think so. I don't hang out with Tennessee fans. Oh, there you go with that.
You had a goat for a girlfriend once? Didn't know that.
I did. No. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. Billy says, refs caused the Gumps to jump off sides. They were coughing. Refs setting screens on DBs to let Hyatt run wild. Ref blocked Gump players' vision to cause the fumble. Yeah, it wasn't like the refs said, hey, put a safety on Hyatt and just let that safety continue to get cooked every fucking time. Here's a thought. Let's run double coverage on him. Yeah, that's what the refs, whatever. That's fucking stupid.
Why wasn't Kool-Aid covering Hyatt?
That's a good question. Leonard says Tennessee should be ranked number 1 in the country. Better resume.
That's a great Kool-Aid.
He says Tennessee should be ranked number 1 in the country. Better resume than those above them. Those teams are ranked higher based on past reputations. Okay. You want to go with that,
Who
man?
cares?
Yeah.
It's really all about where you finish at. How are you going to feel, 5 years from now, telling the grandkids about how Tennessee shit the bed when they were ranked number 1? Now you can just tell them about how you shit the bed when you were ranked what are they ranked, 4?
Yeah, we have to tell Ball State goodbye. He says he's not going to watch again until you show Tennessee some respect. I said you had a great win. What the fuck do I need to do? I mean, what do I need to do? It's October. You guys are new to this. All right. October polls don't matter.
It's not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Sorry.
And they said that Brock says a ref supposedly celebrated a 10 Tennessee TD.
Not like this.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I mean, they showed the touchdown sign. Holy shit. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Yeah, I just want to say go Vols.
All right. There you go. Have a good night. Good night. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. Yeah. I mean, I hope the same Tennessee folks are still here at the end of the season. We'll see if you're ranked at number 5.
Let's stop making everything about them, for God's sake. What do you think? Let's talk about this game this Saturday. What do you think that Clemson has to do to beat the Fruit?
Well, Syracuse is a team that likes to run the ball, and a lot of it's running the ball in between the tackles. I just don't think that's going to work out well for them. I really don't. I think Clemson needs to beat Clemson, and
that quarterback can move around a little bit, so he's kind of a little bit of a dynamic that they really haven't played against much this year. I mean, they've played some pocket passers. Your Sam Hartman's, Devin Leary had a little bit of mobility, but not a lot. Jordan Travis, same thing, a little mobility, not a whole lot. I don't know, man. This Schrader kid, he's looked okay when I've watched him play. The only game of theirs that I watched from start to finish was that Friday night game when they played Virginia. And he's got some wheels on him, I'll say that. But they were prone. They made a lot of mistakes in that game. Hell, they almost lost it.
They average about 430 yards a game according to the stats, which puts them right there in the middle of the pack for offense in the ACC. But yeah, I think that Clemson's got to worry about basically setting up a wall there in the middle. Don't let them get yards in between the tackles. That's how I think they can beat them. Caller, what you got for the show?
Clemson by 20.
Fair enough.
Also, has South Carolina ever been ranked in football at the top spot?
Has the Gamecocks ever been ranked number 1?
They've been ranked number 2.
Number 2 was that 1980?
I don't remember when they were ranked number 2.
1984.
Okay, lost to Barry Sanders.
No, they lost to Navy. Navy kind of fucked them that year.
Okay, but that's that year Barry Sanders, Oklahoma State ran through him, right?
Was that 84 jackpot? Did they play Barry Sanders that year? Did Barry Sanders run all over him in 84? That's what he's asking.
No, that they did lose the bowl game to Oklahoma State. That was Thurman Thomas was a freshman on that Oklahoma State team. Barry Sanders wasn't there yet, or he didn't play. I watched that game. I remember it was Gator Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
All right, have a good night.
All right, bud, appreciate it.
That was pre-mullet.
Pre-mullet? That's funny.
Yeah, you got to refer to Oklahoma State and mullet and pre-mullet. I mean, because the fucker's been around since the Stone Age, but he wasn't there in ¡84.
Here's the thing.
He may have been a player on that team. I'll have to look at that. Didn't he play for Oklahoma State? I think he did.
Yeah, he did. I just don't remember if he was on that team or not. Looking at the Fruit, they've got Louisville. They blew out UConn, beat Purdue by 3, beat Virginia by 2, blew out Wagner, and they beat NC State by 15. So, yeah, they're playing pretty good football right now. They really are.
So, do you think Clemson's going to beat the vitamin C out of the orange?
I don't know if you can do that or not. We'll have to see. But I do think that Clemson's going to control the ball on the ground, and I think that they're going to keep them from running, and Clemson will cover the number.
I'm so over it. I'm ready for them to lose finally.
All right. So, what about your game there, Jackpot? What do the Gamecocks have to do to win?
Well, South Carolina's got to establish. I'm telling you, and the reason why I hesitated on taking them, and I don't know if I'm sold on it. I'll tell you guys, I'm doing that as one of my picks. So I don't know that I'm doing that in the contest. I'm not sold on our line of scrimmage being able to control the game. You have in a game like this, where I don't think either offense is very good. Somebody's got to control the line of scrimmage, and whoever controls the line of scrimmage is probably going to win. Well, I mean, we haven't shown on a consistent basis that we're capable of controlling the line of scrimmage. I don't know if it's scheme. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's just strength on strength, or I don't know if it's just that we've got some soft mofos up there who don't have the gonads to get a bull rush on, or to put a hat on a hat and get low and drive somebody off the ball. I really don't know what the issue is, but I haven't liked I haven't been all about our play on the lines of scrimmage since Spurrier was there, man. I mean, it's just every year. It's just I don't know. That look good.
Well, look, I agree with you on controlling the line of scrimmage, but if we're talking about on the offensive side of the ball, if they're controlling the line of scrimmage, I mean, they're not getting the fruitful end of it. They are dead last in the conference in yards per game. They're dead last in the conference in total yards. They are next to last in conference in passing yards. And on the season, they've only rushed for 715 yards on the year, Jackpot. I mean, this has to be the year for South Carolina to get them.
Yeah, you would think. You would think, because here's my thing, because I don't think Jimbo Fisher's going to be there next year. And all these people over in the comment section, all these financial geniuses that I've seen in these calling shows are like, they're not firing Jimbo Fisher. They're not firing him. They can't afford that buyout. Well, I mean, they can afford to pay him that damn salary. They can afford a damn buyout. I'm sorry. There's more money there than you'd ever know what to fucking do with.
Well, and here's the thing, too. They also can I mean, attorneys can get together. Hey, we owe you $100 million. We're going to pay you 50 right now. Go away. They can do that. I mean, seriously, that's how shit can work. And he can try to hold them to it and then go have it hang up in court and everything else. I mean, there's money at Texas A&M. They don't have issues with money there. So, yeah, Billy's right. Oil money. 803-470-2905.
Defensive line to knock Will Levis's dick in the dirt. It's not happening, Chris. You don't know how good Will Levis is. I mean, he's fucking amazing. I'm sorry. He's worth at least 4 touchdowns, or so I've been told.
I heard that he was literally Thor, the god of thunder's like bastard stepchild, basically. And he's just going to go out there and be
I heard
Thor.
that he created the moon and the stars.
Oh, I didn't hear that rumor.
That stadium up there, Kroger Field, I heard that he built that after he drew up an idea in his head, and then he put it on paper, and then he built it by himself in a weekend.
I mean, wow. The best thing ever, yeah. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. If you'd like to join the program, 803-470-2905. Jackpot, do you need to go, or you want to take more calls?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Feeling it, man.
All right, 803-470-2905. There are some other matchups that are interesting this weekend, Jackpot. When we look at, what was it that I was looking at earlier?
Bonham 101 says, I remember Barry Sanders could run backwards for 30 yards and miss every tackle and rummy it in for a TD. How does that verb work? How do you rummy?
Well, I think he fixed it with run for a TD, but yeah, I think that's where he's going. God damn it, Leonard. Very good, Leonard.
That must be a breakdancing move. It's like a coffee grinder.
The monster under your bed checks under his for Will Levis. Brock with a good one too. I heard a child was dying and Levis said not today. The kid died the next. God damn it, Brock. Oh man. All right, 803-470-2905.
Nightmares about Will Levis.
That's some shit there. All right, if you want to join the program, 803-470-2905. I was looking at the schedule for this weekend, Jackpot, and there was like there was one game I was like, man, that game's this weekend. The Ole Miss LSU game, I mean, that's interesting, but you have Mississippi State and Alabama. They didn't make the cut.
Alabama's been banned from the pick'em contest until they can prove that they're worth a salt.
Well, Alabama's a 21-point favorite at home. Are they going to run roughshod or what?
Strange spot. Everybody's saying, well, Alabama's going to come out. They're going to come out angry. They're going to come out fired up. But hey, what about Mike Leach? What about the Mississippi State man? Are they not going to be angry and fired up? I mean, I think they kind of lost a game this past weekend that maybe they feel like they'd like to have back. Maybe, they kind of got upset a little bit. So maybe they got a little bit of piss and vinegar in their step. I have a hard time after a loss, though. I have a hard time with that one. So if it's Alabama, if I'm playing, I'm laying. But I would stay away from that. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, normally when they've played Mississippi State, they've worn their ass for a hat. And they beat them pretty badly. So I kind of want to lean that way, but I just don't trust this Alabama. I just don't trust them. I just don't think the team's as good as they've been in the past. Just plain and simple. Just don't.
Their secondary is not very good this year. It's really not. Queen Love asks, do I think that Georgia is going to beat Tennessee? The game is in Athens, and Georgia is a 10.5-point favorite over the Vols, according to ESPN. I did not say that. That's what ESPN says. They also give them a 78% chance as far as the Bulldogs to win that game. So there you go with that. I think that Georgia has more depth.
I can't believe that. I think those are lies.
Oh, okay. I'm just making up stuff. Okay.
I didn't say you were making it up. I just don't. I don't see how that's possible.
Okay. Bow Hunting says 3 weeks till we play Georgia, guys. Plenty of time to talk about it. Yeah, well, you probably, I'm sure that Coach Heupel's going to say you should, you play Kentucky before then, right? So there you go with that. Kirby's Visor says, it almost feels like Bama peaked in 2020. Yeah, Rack Dog, that's what, according to this article, that ESPN has them as a 10.5-point favorite. So
disrespect, man, the disrespect.
Yeah, I don't think that, once again, by the time we get there, things could completely change. I think that's one thing that people are, you could have something that could happen either way that could change that stuff. If Stetson Bennett goes out and tweaks his foot and he's not able to play, that could throw some things off. Who knows?
Well, Georgia's not losing a game before that. I mean, the only thing, they have a bye week this week, and then they got jiggy.
SEC dogs
says Florida man.
Poison.
They got Florida next week. The Florida man.
Florida first in Jacksonville, then Voltards in Athens, 1 week at a time in the SEC, something Tennessee doesn't understand. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, that's going to be one of the better matchups of the year. I mean, I think that.
I mean, Florida's testing this year, so.
Yeah.
Florida, I mean, Georgia might win that game by 40.
I was looking up to see if there was a line on Kentucky and Tennessee.
I wish there were some Florida fans. We don't ever have Florida fans in the chat. They get real
all fucking. they're all fucking gone. There's no fucking real Florida fans out there.
They like to get chesty and run that damn mouth, but I hadn't seen any of them around in a while. I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, I mean they left. They had heart issues with Urban Meyer and they left the program. Florida's a real shit fan base too. They really are. Some of the shit they throw out there.
Oh, fucking idiots.
Aaron says Tennessee minus 14 with that matchup. You might be right. Here's the thing with that though, with Kentucky.
Not sure about that.
Tennessee has actually beaten teams that can win against other teams. 5 of UGA's 7 wins are against teams with losing records.
I mean,
so
they're undefeated. I mean, they're undefeated and have beaten who is on their schedule. They can't change that.
Let me make sure I understand this.
Clemson,
no, I mean, well, I'm just saying. Well, first of all, I don't want to get into all of that, but what Chris is saying is that the SEC schedule that Georgia has played is not compatible to the SEC schedule that Tennessee has played. I think that's where he's going. Right?
I think so.
So we should continue that logic with why don't we wait and see how all of those teams play out and how it ends up at the end of the season? Because Alabama has to play Mississippi State. They've still got Auburn. They've still got LSU. Who else do they got?
Chris Foster says UGA got the front stat their schedule. No, they didn't. They used to play. They used to play Auburn close to the end of the schedule. Auburn went and cried to the SEC office because they thought it was unfair that they had to play Georgia at the end of the season so close to the Alabama game. So they changed it. That's true.
Billy says, just look at strength of schedules. What strength of schedule are you talking about? Tennessee has the best win of everyone in college football because they've got a win over a team that was in the top 5. No one else has that. So if you're a Tennessee fan, you can go with that. Now that's your only win over a ranked opponent. So there's that too. But
the 49-3 Georgia win over Oregon has to be pretty damn close.
I would say that because that is a top 10 win. And by the way, Oregon hasn't lost a game since. And they are fucking rolling people, Jackpot.
They are rolling.
All right, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. That's the number to dial if you'd like to join the show.
SEC Dog says Volatard OT versus Pitt. Woo-wee. They didn't play well in that game. That's what they tell us. That they didn't play good in that game, but they still won. Look how terrible we played, and we still won that game.
I do think that Kentucky on their best day is not beating Tennessee. That's just like the big monkey on their shoulder. Kentucky's team last year was better than Tennessee.
I'm not 100%. That's a funny series. I mean, here at the past few days, it's been a funky series. I'm not going to say that can't happen. I mean, you can't tell me, and I'm still not sold on that defensive front. I think Chris Rodriguez, I mean, if he gets going, it didn't get going against South Carolina. Really didn't get going against South Carolina. He got shut down in the second half. If Chris Rodriguez gets going, I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right. So, well, who do you think is a better back, Rodriguez or Gibbs?
I think Gibbs is a faster back, and I think but I think that Rodriguez is a more powerful back. They're two different styles.
Which back would you rather have, Jackpot?
Between those two?
Yeah, if I told you you could have one or the other, which one would you rather have?
As long as he's not drinking Rodriguez.
Okay. I think Gibbs has a better chance of taking the ball to the house on every play, but
I think Gibbs is probably a better receiver too.
So do you think that Rodriguez has the potential that he could wear that Tennessee defense down and make drives longer for Kentucky, where in the fourth quarter Tennessee's looking around and it's like, we're only up 20-17. What the fuck? Is that where you're going with that?
Yes, keep the offense on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't think Kentucky's got a shot in fucking hell, but I mean, I get what you're spinning there, Jackpot, and it's viable, but I think it's just a mental thing, to be honest with you. I really do. So
I
Billy's
think
right.
We're all
Rodriguez.
wearing blue that day, my friend.
Oh yeah. Well, I hope it's a
Turn
tie.
this Penn State thing inside out, and putting a little bourbon bottle right there. We are all Kentucky fans on whatever day that is. Is that next Saturday?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, it's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So
Oh yeah.
I was looking at in that game, the Vols won 45-42. Will Levis threw for 372 yards in that game and 3 touchdowns. Rodriguez had 22 carries for 109 yards. Cavassier Smoke had 11 carries for 53 yards. Hell, Levis had 47 yards on the ground. Man, that Tennessee
So
defense
both of them went for almost 6 yards a carry. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. So, Big Barney Ross says, what mental thing?
Smoke's been a wet fart this year, too. I mean, if
Yeah,
they could get him going, I think he's been hurt a little bit, too, though. I think he's
Big Barney Ross says, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think he has been injured. You're right. The mental thing is that you were a better team than they were last year, and you didn't beat them at home. That's the mental thing I'm talking about there, Big Barney Ross. So, Billy says Jackpot wants to gloat if Kentucky beats Tennessee. Levis didn't play. Jesus fucking Christ. It's fucking insane which one.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing. I mean, the week that you played Mizzou, I'm a Mizzou fan. I'm a Mizzou fan every week anyway. The week that you played Vanderbilt, I'm a Vanderbilt fan. We played Gamecocks. I'm a big old cock. We all know that anyway to be true.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal.
So I was looking at the SEC team.
I just want to see you get it pushed in, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Trying to find like the SEC team defense stats, but let's see if I can find them. There we go. I was looking to see how many yards Tennessee had actually given up on the ground. So, but we shall see here.
Jeff says,
anyway,
jealous little jackpot. Okay,
jealous
whatever.
What are you jealous of, Jackpot?
Just everything. I mean, clearly the class of college football right now. He's right. I'm just so damn jealous. There are just some teams you just want to see fucking lose. I'm sorry. Just like wrestlers, you want to see lose. Heels. Tennessee's the heels this year. Get down. Damn heel.
Oh, Jackpot. I actually pulled something for you. South Carolina needs to jump out on Texas A&M early. Why?
And if you hit a motherfucker once and ain't nobody to break it up, you need to keep hitting him, because when you stop hitting him, he's going to start hitting you.
There's my advice for South Carolina. Hit them in the mouth and keep hitting them until there's all zeros on the clock. Chris
Foster's bringing the fire tonight with another good point. Cale thinks an 11-1 UT will shut up. This is true. I mean, if they were 1-11, they wouldn't shut up. So, I mean, that kind of was a wet fart comment, I guess, by me.
We'll see.
Randy says, "Yeah, Jackpot, you look like a big old cock lover." Isn't that funny? That's a funny joke, man. That is so hilarious. That's almost as cool as Rent Free.
I mean, that's like what Randy doesn't understand is that when we finish this stream in a moment, Jackpot is going to have tears in his eyes and he's going to go to bed and think, you know what? Randy from Hillbilly Land doesn't like me. And he's going to cry all night long. So thanks for that, Randy.
Yeah. I mean, if you're using the male phallus slang term, you think that's why we've got that big old cock on the front of ours, and you're just, I mean, your level of analogy and just concept of shit talking is really just tanked, and you really just probably stop.
All right, final call for calls, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. That is the number to dial if you would like to join us here on the program this evening. So there's that. Big Bonnie Ross says he's going to drink bourbon. That's the way to do it. Anyway, Brandy says he's
Kirby
kidding.
Pfizer says A.D. Mitchell is coming back against Florida and Jalen Carter for Tennessee. Georgia seems to have a lot of teams, or not teams, players that just get injured and just they stay on there for a while. Whatever happened to Eric Gilbert? Is he
Still
gone?
enrolled there. I'm sorry, Jackpot. Can you read that comment that I just posted?
Jackpot's wet fart says wet fart of the week about to be Clemson.
Look at this picture of Jackpot, by the way. He looks like he's just mad as fuck. God damn it, Jackpot.
Well,
Oh, shit. Jackpot just dropped off. Hold on. He'll be back. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. Yeah. He's been Queen Love says Georgia and Alabama will be 2 lost teams before the season is over. You know, I was listening to something today, and it was about someone had this take that Alabama could lose 3 games. And when you look at it, it's like, all right, they're favored by 21 this week at home. Next, week 9, they play. They're off week 9. Week 10, they will be playing LSU. It says they're 17-point favorite according to ESPN, which is where I'm looking at right now. Then they have Austin P. I think they're a solid chance they'll win that game. And then after that, what was the next matchup? Yeah, then they play Auburn. So no. Yeah, that's right. They play Auburn. I don't know how they're going to have 3 losses, but they've got LSU, Ole Miss. They've got Ole Miss too. I'm sorry, I forgot about Ole Miss. Still got to play them. That's somewhere in the mix there. So maybe that's on the week of the 8th. And I just missed it. Yeah. On November the 12th, they will play Ole Miss at Ole Miss. Maybe that's the game that will be a problem there. There's Jackpot. Hello, friend. We were talking about Alabama may lose 3 games. I was listening to something today, and I was like, I mean, I guess they've got Auburn, they've got Ole Miss, they've got Mississippi State and LSU, and then of course Austin P. the Governors. But
I don't know. No, they'll probably go undefeated and just clown stomp everybody the rest of the way, so the Vols can beat their chest over something else. Look what they did.
Let's see here. Big Barney Ross goes, what's happened to Notre Dame? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
They lost to Stanford this past Saturday. They've become an afterthought. They have UNLV this Saturday, and UNLV's quarterback, I believe his last name is Brumfield, is injured and is probably not going to play in that game. But I'm telling you, if he were healthy, I don't know that I wouldn't pick them to not beat Notre Dame.
I mean, Marshall beat them. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, why not go for the trifecta? Suck. Did you know that you know who Stanford's only win was against before they played Notre Dame?
It was some shit team. I don't remember who it was.
Toothpaste.
Colgate?
Yes.
God damn it.
And what is Colgate doing going 4,000 miles across the country to play Stanford? They can't find a Power 5 team closer to upstate New York to play. I mean, for real.
Oh, man. I mean, they want that money, I guess. Someone says a young man from Mississippi State died. We don't like to hear that. So that sucks.
Alan Smith says Jackpot would give his left nut to be where the Vols are. No, I wouldn't, because that would hurt.
All right. Well, make sure you get your picks in, ladies and gentlemen, and we appreciate y'all as always. Jackpot, you got anything else you want to go over, or can we go to bed?
No, I don't guess so. Who's Rutgers playing this weekend?
Hold on, I'll tell you. I got the schedules right here, sir. And Rutgers is playing. Let's see here. This is the Rutgers game this weekend. Rutgers is playing Indiana at high noon. They are a 3-point favorite over Bedazzle Sack in Indiana.
They'll probably beat them, don't you think?
They're a 3-point favorite at home. I mean, why not?
I wish I could go again. That was fun.
I mean, how much did you pay for tickets? Not to get nosy. I mean, were they expensive?
No, it was like $50 for two.
Oh, fuck. That's not bad.
That
All right. Well, go ahead.
that little chant that they did too with their fight song. I may do that one day if I can. I got to go back and watch it on YouTube to see exactly how it went. But it's something like upstream, red team, upstream, fight, Rutgers fight. Are you rah rah? Are you rah rah? Something like that. It's better than any damn Rocky Top shit. That's just not.
I don't like the shit Clemson fans do at games. I'm just like, really?
What do they do at games?
They do like the whole they do the whole Clemson cadence count thing. It's like fucking you're spelling Clemson. Just fuck off with all that. I mean, ugh.
Oh, I mean, the only thing that just annoys the fuck out of me is that fucking fight song they play after they score a damn touchdown. I was telling the wife that the other day. I was like, that fucking song. I was like, God, I'd like to know how many times in my life I've heard that shit. I mean, it's got to be over 1,000.
Yeah. All right. Well, for folks that are watching online, I'm working for WVOC in Columbia. Find them on the iHeartRadio app if you want to listen to the post-game coverage. I think the Gamecocks are going to win. We're going to go on the air like 11 o'clock at night. So I think that's about what time we'll get on the air. I'll shoot the link out and you guys can listen if you like. We don't stream
Damn
that
it, I
show.
didn't mean to do that.
What?
I fucked up. I put Big Barney Ross in timeout. I meant to put Jeff in timeout. Not that it really matters. We're about to wrap up the show, but I'm just doing it for effects or whatever. But yeah, I mean Jeff, yeah, go fuck yourself.
All right. Sorry, Big Barney Ross. We'll make sure that you're not in timeout. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys later on.